Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk the football. You get me? So yeah, I'm excited. I look forward to it. Can the two frauds on the background switch on their cameras, please? So I can just add you both. Nice. You're actually here. والثاني شو رايك تشغل الكاميرا؟ لا إله إلا الله. Anyway, guys, joining me on the channel today. Don't know why he's here, man. Like Olu. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. What do you mean? What you don't know why I'm here? I'm here because I'm special.
Staffy جاهز حبيبي? Well, I can't see him. But anyway, Staffy's gonna come here as well. Hope you guys are all good. Hope you guys are fantastic. You get me? We're here. And yeah. Anyway, Mo just done a silent video. His mic wasn't working. There you are. Was his mic not working actually? What, like on Footy Judge Mo?
No, I think he's on Terry's channel.
No, they said done a silent video.
I don't know.
Did he upload it? Oh, he didn't upload it. You're talking about the terrorist thing. Yeah. So how are you, Olu, first and foremost?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It is what it is, man. Counting down the days till you frauds win, the tides win. We can start talking about the season.
You frauds. Why are we frauds?
Because I now believe I'm now coming to the realization that there's a world in which Darwin Núñez is a Premier League champion, and for me, that just seems so.
Lauren was a Premier League champion.
Yeah, but Lauren was actually a good right back.
Edu Gaspar was a Premier League champion.
Again, he was serviceable as a midfielder. If you pick, I don't know.
So you want me to go back to your squad and tell you some of the shit players that were league champions?
Christopher Ray. There you go. That's one.
You know that Bebe was a league champion for Man United.
Exactly. So I'm putting Bebe and Darwin Núñez in the same bucket.
So how's that sad?
Because it's just sad.
Yeah, it's sad that you're not winning it. It's not sad that Núñez is winning it.
Hey, listen, there's got to be I've got to hate at some point. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give you the whole congratulations.
Why are you hating on Liverpool after you beat Madrid? You have no reason to.
I always have a reason to hate on people who win over us.
You always have reason to hate on Liverpool. We're not real rivals, though.
You're not. No. Just the people who win. Just the people who win. That's all. Don't worry.
So you hate the winners and you adore the losers.
I'm a loser right now, so I've got to adore the people that are around me.
What's going on? Where's Staffy though?
I don't know.
شغل لي ام الاو بي اس بالباك جراوند شو اضيف شاشه درجه يعني؟
Where is Staffy?
احكي معاه، ما هو انا بحكي بطريقه قليله ادب، احكي انت معاه باحترام. بصير لو سمحت يا عمري يا ستافي تشغل الكاميرا. هاي يشغلها. يلا قاد.
خلينا اعدل انا الثينج.
يلا قاد حبيبي قاد.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
الكاميرا مش شغاله وما كانش فيه صوت. اطلع اعمل ايه؟
Do you know guys?
اطلع تتفرج على جمالي ولا اشغل البتاع الاول؟
For me as well, I went on the football terrace for more than half an hour, no sound. I tried every trick in the book, no sound whatsoever. I don't know what happened. It is maybe StreamYard or whatever. I don't know.
Just my audio wasn't working. Husam was talking. I heard nothing, so I went to restart. It worked, and then my camera went off, and it didn't want to work.
Like
oh, I'm in an OBS. So you want me to go on without audio or without visual? Choose one.
I bring a different energy out of Staffy. No one on YouTube is capable of. Wallahi.
No one can bring a disgusting energy on the wrong day.
I promise you, Jacob, TJ, everyone he's worked with in his life, no one can bring this toxic Staffy out except me. I'm the one that brings him out. You get me?
And you're proud of it. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
Yeah, of course, because I bring you back to the streets of Egypt, bro.
Can we just do the show already so I can leave?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, Mo. شو المواضيع تبعتك؟
What do you have to leave, yeah?
Because I don't want to talk about football today. I just want to go touch grass.
It's very good. We need to. By the way, there is a more. Actually, do you know what? There is more pressing news, which is Chelsea coming back with Bowlers FC. Sancho, the leader of Bowlers FC, Sancho scoring the equalizer, Chelsea are now 6. Newcastle, if I'm not mistaken, are 2 points ahead of Chelsea with a game against Crystal Palace at home. Newcastle are gunning for second, as the commentators say, because Arsenal are not going to take it serious for the rest of the season. Arsenal are 4 points ahead of if Newcastle win their game, they are 4 points behind you. You don't care about being second. You're going to focus on PSG in the semi-final, so you wouldn't care about the league. And we saw you against Brentford. Arsenal were terrible. Just basically, that is what happened. So Newcastle might be second, and they might. To be honest with you, but there is the biggest news today is not Man United losing. Actually, the biggest news today, because Man United losing is just another day in the office. Amorim has lost 10 games. Wallahi, there is wallahi, I was talking to
You're
Terry
so
and Najee.
condescending.
I was talking to Terry and Najee, and they're like, there evidence of the pressure at Man United is that every news outlet are reporting that Man United are losing. Well, we've seen this every day. Saeed has done more rants videos than celebrations this season. So it gets boring after an explosive rant. I am fuming. Meet me at the car park. How many people are you gonna meet at the car park?
Bro, it's about to be a fucking Royal Rumble at that car park.
Bro, like, are you gonna meet everyone at the car park? Onana, Benyadir, Bruno, Garnacho, Hoyland. Is he gonna meet Ratcliffe? He's gonna meet everyone at the football club at the car park. K-Man,
Staffy, Sheik, Griggs,
Maguire,
Ahmed.
What's meeting me? What did I do?
Delict to meet me at the car park. Dallo, meet me at the car park.
Even me.
Let me just finish this.
I'll meet Olo at the car park.
It becomes boring. To be honest, you have to know where you are. As a Man United, the difference between Staffy and Saeed, to be honest, is that Staffy TV, like and subscribe, knows where he is. That's the problem. He doesn't live in the delusional world where we must be challenging for the league. Bro, you are not of the best 8 teams in the league. And I'm not saying squad or not squad, right? I'm just saying the status of this club, the status of this team, the whole thing is very simple. You're cooked.
I think the thing is, Mo, so this is the biggest defeat we had under Emery, believe it or not. For the amount of times we've been losing, this is the first time we concede more than 3 goals. And this is actually the first time we concede, the second time we concede 3 or more. And it was only against Bournemouth this happened. So it was a bit of a humbling defeat. I think it was a good reminder, though, and I said this on my watch along. I said some of these defeats are kind of needed, and I'm not talking about just losing, because United did a lot of losing this year. Some of these humbling defeats where you lose on the score and you lose in the performance. Not a single United fan can look at today and be like, we could have got something out of this today. Today was a mismatch. Today wasn't a matchup. It was a mismatch. And it was, and the reason why this one was really needed, especially against Newcastle, because recently, when you look over the last 3 years, we always get humbled by Newcastle. No, I think there's not a single team out there that exposes us in certain ways more than Newcastle. Newcastle have the perfect combination to expose in terms of physicality, because you can argue they have the most physical midfield in the league. They have 3.
Don't argue, they do.
In the world.
Or it depends, but you get what I'm saying. In the league, they have the most physical midfield. You add that with a little bit of tech, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks like Daddy playing against it today. Like, bro, like it looks like your 16-year-olds are playing against like 12-year-olds, and it's always like that when we play Newcastle. And this is why, like, I watched today's game. Don't get me wrong, I do rage during the game. I get angry. We're all emotional fans. It's fine. You're allowed to express any type of emotion during the game, but in a normal setting where I'm like calm and I just like everything is fine, I just always get reminded of how bad this team is. I don't understand how people look at this team and they think we're a manager fix away. A part of me wants Emery to get sacked just so some people can see that in 12 months, if we don't replace some of these players, we'll still be here. Like, the quality on the pitch in terms of physicality and technique, there's no match, bro. You had Ugarte getting bitched by Joe Linton the whole game. You have their whole back line bitching our attack until Xerxes came off, especially, and that was the most deflating part today. Even defending, bro, like that 1-2 that they did in the air, Isak and what's his name, Tonali, we can't do that on the floor, let alone in the air. It's 2025 and we're playing Lindelof, and people are surprised. We have 4 errors leading to goal today, and people are saying, but get rid of the manager. I have Dallo, who's allowing Livramento to drive past him, gets cooked. I have Bayender, who's making mistakes, gets cooked. I have Ugarte, who's giving up the ball in the first goal, we get cooked. It's just every game there's mistakes. I don't have a goalkeeper. Wallah al-Azim, you think I'm joking? In the group chat today, we're discussing, so who do we think is better now, Onana or Bayender? I said, listen, when you don't have an answer, let's just do basic maths. One did 2 mistakes last game, one did 1 mistake this game. So there you go. Because I don't even know, I don't have a goalkeeper that can get me through 90 minutes without a mistake. That's how bad this team is. This team is generally so bad. And you look at the squad recruitment and the player recruitment that Newcastle did over the last 3 years versus ours. How can people be upset when you look at the type of signings they've been making versus the type of signings we've been making? They signed Tonali. They signed Bruno G for like 35 mil. They have Livramento who can start for us. They have so many players that they recruited over the last 3 years that are miles better than us. And people wonder why we're here. But they always think we're a manager fix away. It's not going to happen. So for that, wallahi, I'm reaching a point, wallahi Mo, where I actually want Emery sacked just so I can say, there you go. See, we're still shit.
I want Amorim sacked for another reason. I want Amorim sacked to save the guy's career. This is the graveyard of not only strikers, managers as well. To be honest with you, the more this guy continues at Man United, he actually might be like cooked. His career might be cooked, to be honest. He might not get a big job because everyone that left Man United, who got a big job after Man United? I can't remember any of the guys that left Man United that got a big job. I actually think
only Mourinho if you count Spurs.
You said big job. Come on, man, relax.
Have some
Okay, Olu, let's not do the banter thing. That's still
it's not banter. It's not banter.
No.
You said big
Moyes didn't get a big job. Mourinho, Oli, Van Gaal, his career was over. I actually think that Man United.
Ranić, Austria manager.
Can I?
Yeah, maybe Ragnick.
Okay. I actually think that actually Man United might never go back to the top again unless something dramatic happens, unless the Glazers sell the majority of the club to Ineos and they let Ineos do the job. I'm so convinced that Man United might be just cooked as a football club because of the amount of money they spend. Might be cooked, bro. It might be going down the Liverpool route. You know what I mean? With the 30.
We were never even this bad. That's the funny part.
Yeah. They were still fourth. They played Champions League the majority. They played Champions League semi-finals.
We were never 14th in fucking April.
No. I was thinking more like in the mid-90s. You were not that good, but you were
but even mid-90s, we were never 14th.
They still finished in the top 4.
They never had an expensive squad like this that they can't overload. And they're sitting bottom half of the table.
I'm gonna tell
all
you
their shit players was easy to ship off.
Newcastle and Aston Villa are closer to challenging than Man United are. And it's not even crazy to say this.
Why is that even a statement? We know that.
Like there are about like 8 teams in the league that are closer to challenging than Manchester United at the current moment, and I would say that's an understatement. To be honest with you,
Man United are just so easy to play against. It's crazy.
I am happy to see. I am happy actually to see Man United like this. And as I said before, some of the fan base are very entitled. And I'm not gonna name names, but some of the fan base still think some of the fan base still think they are the biggest club in the world. Right? I'm not gonna name names. Like they still think that they are bigger than this, bigger than that, and their evidence is we still get Pogba. Oh, we still attract Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We're a big club. We got Amorim from under your nose.
Mo. That's
not only that, there are, you know what? I'm just going to tell you one thing. Do you know Said, for example? Do you see Staffy now? He's like, you know what? We are where we are. We are where we are. Said, for example, every time he does the rant, that by itself is you telling me that you still think you're a big club, that you deserve something because your name is just Man United. Right? Rant. We are not where we are, for example. Bro, you are where you are because you deserve to be here. Because of the 12 years of not challenging or being close to titles. You know what I mean? There are other people. These are the people that I watch, to be honest. Staffy, Saeed, Rance, Nuruddin. I'm going to tell you what. Sorry, you're muted. Nuruddin today sat next to Saeed and he's laughing. And Saeed is telling him, why you're laughing, bro? We shouldn't be like this. And Nuruddin is telling him, bro, we are like this because we're a joke of a club. This is where we are now. Accept it. Saeed is like, don't laugh. Don't joke. You know what I mean? That is, in my opinion, that is entitlement. Why? Why do you think you deserve more? Based on what? Like because
Yeah.
you're big man.
Because of our name, Mo, and that's not
You're a
enough.
big Man
I've been on
United?
Said's channel so many times this season, blaming him for actually raising expectations when they should be lowered. I keep telling him when we go into games, you said it perfectly. And this is not just Said, by the way. He's an example because he's
because we
he's-
watch him because he's one of the
yeah,
biggest
he's an
Man United
example. He's a
contributors.
big example of the majority in that fan base. I keep telling him, bro, when you go in and you make predictions that are never going to happen, you have such a strong following that people will believe you. And the minute that doesn't happen, everything's going to be as shocked as you. Everyone's going to be rant when they see you rant and rage after, and you do these match reactions. And everyone's going to focus on what's the wrong thing instead of focus on the right thing. The more I keep coming here, and I tell you, if I keep here, let's say Olo's a United fan, and every week I tell him, Olo, today we're going to win. Today we're going to win. Today we're going to win. And he's going to believe me. And then every time we lose, he sees me raging. He's going to be like, you know what? He's right. I am setting him for a false expectation every time. And then I'm causing him to rage every time. And he lives in this bubble where we should be better. We actually are underachieving. There's still United fans out there that still say this team is better than where it is. This team should be competing in at least domestic cups. This team was good enough to win a trophy under Ten Hag, so we should win a trophy this year. There's so many false expectations that when all this happens, people sit there and they don't focus on the wrong thing. And they're like, you know what? Fuck it. Get the manager out. How anyone can still watch United and think if we get rid of the manager, we'll be a good team is beyond me. Because guess what? Forget the manager. We can change about 6-7 players in the first team next season. And I still don't expect this to be a good team because there's so much that needs to be undone over the last few years of recruitment. I saw a visual today of Ten Hag signings, and I swear to God, bro, I wanted to call 911. He doesn't even live in the US, and I wanted to call the cops on him because this guy losing his job wasn't enough. This guy should be behind bars, bro, for the signings that he's made. You look at the 600 to 700 million spent, and you look at the quality on the pitch today. Our double pivot sucks. Our striker, Højlund, sucks. Garnacho scored a goal. Let's be honest, he's never scoring that again. That was a fluke of a goal, in my opinion. Our wing backs suck. We don't have a goalkeeper, a competent goalkeeper to put in goal. Both of them, by the way, were signed under Ten Hag. That is the 600 to 700 million spent. And people think that a manager could come in and do better with these things. What does a manager have to do? I could put Husam, Olo, and Mo on the sideline, and don't look at what Bayender did with that mistake. And Dallo on that mistake, and Ugarte on those mistakes, and Mazraoui, to be fair, he slipped. I don't even want to call it a mistake. And these guys are not professional coaches. They don't have their badges, and I still won't blame them. Because what are they going to do about individual mistakes every game? We saw that the Lyon game got cost us by 2 individual mistakes. Today, 4 individual mistakes. 6 individual mistakes in 2 games. And people still look at that. Imagine that is your conclusion. Imagine you watch Manchester United over the last 180 minutes, and your conclusion is, after all these mistakes, yeah, the manager's the issue. How could you even think like that? Like, I have never endured such stupid people in my life that I can't accept it. Like, I can't even look at my Twitter for notifications anymore because everyone responds to me but by where we are in the league. I can literally go back and show you that 90% of the games that we lost were on so many mistakes. And that's not even to defend Emram. I actually want him gone so I can prove my point. But my point is that people still watch United, see how bad the attack is, see how bad the midfield is, see how bad the backline is, see the lack of technicality, see the lack of focus, see the lack of leadership, see the lack of physicality, and they say, yeah, but the manager this, the manager that. Like, I just don't understand how could you be this stupid? Like, alhamdulillah, I am blessed to not be that stupid. But how the majority of the fan base is this stupid, I can still think like that, it's beyond me, bro. And this is why Pogba was right when he said United fans know little about football. I can't put you in front of this 180 minutes of United of the last 2 games, and that's the conclusion to come up with. I don't know another fan base that could do that.
There are 2 fan bases that are so deluded, and I think they know the least about football.
Stupid and not deluded. We're both. We're stupid.
I actually think there are 2 fan bases in the world that know the least about football, actually, which is Manchester United and Barcelona. And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to explain to you why. The difference between, for example, Manchester United and all the other clubs like Juventus, for example, or Inter, or Milan, or all the other clubs, is that the majority of the people that are alive right now, they have seen their club being successful under different managers, or they haven't seen their club more successful. But Man United fans, the people that live with us right now, that watch football, that talk to us, have only seen one way, which is Alex Ferguson way. Alex Ferguson's time, Fergie time, the way to dominate, and they think that is football. It's Fergie, we get the best players, we win, we develop, we get Rooney. Barcelona is the same. The majority of the fans that support Barcelona now only know one thing. We pass the ball to Messi, and Messi score amount of goals, and we win trophies. That is what I'm saying. You don't know anything about football because you haven't watched your club go up and down. You haven't watched your club under different styles, different managers, different eras. Yes, Alex Ferguson rebuilt Man United, but basically Man United under Alex Ferguson 26 years, especially the ones we watched from the 90s all the way to 2012, it's the same Man United. Man United are not very dominant. Man United are not very dominant, but they win the games. They have the energy. They have this. They have that. He makes soup out of everything. Wes Brown, who cares? Darren Fletcher, who cares? Alex Ferguson. Barcelona fans the same. The problem with Man United fans now is that they still live thinking that football is that. Football is Alex Ferguson. And that's about it. They don't want to move on from that time. By the way, Arsenal fans, the younger ones, lived only through, we want to see our team play good football. And that is how we entertained about football. Okay, that is different. When you live through a long time of one manager, basically you become stupid about football. You don't see football as it is. Because football is not all about one way of playing football.
ثبت على مئات الملايين.
I'm being serious, bro. People don't know football. Wallahi, people don't
يعني
understand
Staffy
football.
stupid that doesn't know football.
No,
I was gonna say
the
this.
problem is, if you ask Staffy, when did you support Man United?
Don't have it, Staffy.
The majority of the time that he supported Man United was not under Fergie. The majority, if you count the years, were under.
How would
Think
you
about it, I didn't, yeah.
You ask him. I know.
When
When
did
did
you
he start
start
supporting
supporting
Man United?
No, Mo is right because I actually clocked it the other day. I was having a conversation. The first time I actually watched a full season of Manchester United it was 2006. That was the first full season I
Years
watched.
glory.
He only watched 6 years of Fergie,
Your
and they
glory
did
had
years
it.
of
Technically
different
watched
managers.
7 years of Fergie, and the
Glory
rest is
had
not Fergie.
That's the
Glory.
problem.
And yeah,
But the
Omar, I just
majority
said I
of us-
started in 2006. Yeah, and you think I was Nostradamus? I knew we were going to win 3 in a row. How the fuck was I supposed to know? But that was the first full season I watched from start to finish.
But
So
I
I
get the
actually witnessed
point.
United under Fergie less than I witnessed United outside
For
of
the
Fergie.
people, can I just respond? For the people that say generalization, guys, I don't mean every single fan. You guys need to understand, when we say something, we mean the majority of people, right? When we mean the majority of people, I don't mean you. I don't mean you in specific. You, whatever, Cal.
He's a Liverpool fan. He's a
Yeah.
Like,
Liverpool
I don't mean that person in specific. I mean generally, that is the general thing. You know what I mean?
So
When we say, for example, Egyptians are Messi, for example, I don't mean every single Egyptian is Messi. I just mean the majority of them are just Messi people. You get the point? Like, people need to understand this. People need to
Yeah,
understand.
I
same
was
way your
gonna- I was
mic
gonna-
not working and stuff is eating on stream. Anyway, go ahead. On.
God,
I was-
nice to meet you.
I was gonna say everything Staffy said, interesting and funny enough, was I remember being as an Arsenal fan.
I'm eating
going
a salad, so no one bullies me.
I was going through exactly what you were going through. Towards
Here
the
we
end of
go.
Wenger.
All making it about Arsenal. Here we.
I'm not making it
fucking
about
go.
Arsenal. I'm not
I
making it
was
about Arsenal.
going through everything you went through until the
I'm
night and the
not
shining armor are set
making
up on
about- I'm not, forget that. What I'm saying is this, right? And I think I was actually what Mo said is going
Start your statement with
Wait.
no one went through this. No one.
okay. No one went through this. Fine.
Have you
I
ever
agree
seen
with that.
Arsenal in 13th? Have you ever seen Liverpool in
Yes.
13th? Or
Yes, I
Chelsea
have.
in 13th? When?
I have.
When?
Inter,
Well-
we went through this.
During the period of time when Arteta was shit. I mean, you can still argue.
2
That's what-
seasons, not
Talking about
12
an April.
years.
Although
Yeah, but
we're
the-
talking in
but the-
April
but the-
here.
We'll talk about 1 year. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm still saying we still sorry. The reason why I'm saying that is that what Mo said was correct, which is fans, when you grow up under one manager, when you have one manager who dominates the club, when everything's built on his identity, it's something that's very difficult to come from, right? This Man United team, to be fair, is shocking. It's shockingly bad. It seems, I don't know if it's undercoached. I don't know what it is. Like, watching the game today, I was just like, even when you went back to 1-0, I just felt like Newcastle wouldn't score at any time. And that is a big indictment on the team right now in terms of they just don't seem strong enough just to just make it difficult to score against them. Like, forget even getting a draw or win. Like, Newcastle is a very hard place to go to. Just to be difficult to play against, this United team doesn't seem like that. And that is a scary thought. And I think, yes, I think a lot of United fans need to start coming up with that realization that you are not the club you were once before. You're not that team that was winning Champions League. You're not a team that was winning back-to-back Premier League titles. That team is gone. That mentality is gone. Something has to change in that club. I've always said it before. Root and branch. You have to strip everything and start all over again. And until that happens, you're gonna continue having this happen. Honestly, the game was just funny to watch. Like, I was watching and watching F1 at the same time, and I was just like, United will score. It's like Newcastle.
There's nothing
United
funny
will
about that.
score.
Stop that.
It was hilarious. It was
You
hilarious.
enjoy bullying.
I enjoyed it.
You enjoy bullying.
I enjoyed it.
So you enjoy abuse. There you go, guys. We
enjoyed it.
exposed Olo on MHF.
Even my dog right now is laughing at the game because he watched it as well.
Your dog was disagreeing with you because he was like, "Nope, even I didn't like that."
Nah, he was watching the game. Nah, it's insane. And to be honest, I don't know where you go from here. I don't, because like you said, it's not. You say change the players. United have changed so many players over the years. So you say, okay, it's not a player. It's change the manager. You've changed the manager, and you're still getting worse results than before, right? And you know when people say, "Oh, this is the team that got this, that got Ole sacked, that got this person sacked," most of those guys are gone. So we can't blame those guys anymore. You can't blame McTominay anymore. You can't blame Fred. You know, when it was McFred in midfield, and you guys were saying that was the cause of
You'd be
reason.
surprised, by the way.
Pogba.
We still have a lot of them.
I know, but you can't blame Martial. All you have right now, okay, let's look at the starting team. How many of those players were the players under Ole? None. Was it Maguire? Maybe?
From
Maguire
today?
Yeah.
From today, it was Lindelof,
Okay, Lindelof, Dalot.
Bruno.
That's it. 3
Who
players.
start for us? I wouldn't count
That's it.
Garnacho.
No,
Yeah.
3
It's
players.
only those 3.
So,
Sorry, and Ericsson, that's 4. But then we brought off the bench
yeah.
Shaw, and that's 5. By the way,
Yeah.
Dalot starting for me in 2025 alone is shocking. Like, that is shocking, bro. I have Lindelof playing central center back against Isaac.
But you see, but what I'm saying from that point though is that you can't blame and say this is the same players who's got this manager sacked anymore, because majority of those players have gone, and the ones that are still there, they're probably going to get moved out. And the reality is that this United team is just getting worse and worse and worse. And I remember last time I was here, we spoke to Staffy, and I said about the whole sort of style of play with Amram, and I said, like, sometimes you just have to say, just stop the bleeding. Just stop the bleeding. And right now, you don't seem to be stopping the bleeding. It doesn't matter which goalkeeper you put. It doesn't matter which defenders you put. It just seems like it's so easy to play.
Yeah, Ola, but we reached a point where United fans today are discussing, should we put Heaton in goal? Like this is just the minute a conversation gets to your third goalkeeper and your first 2 goalkeepers are not injured, to me, that's just beyond anything that has to do with coaching. That's what I'm saying. You could be our coach, and I'll still defend you. So I'd be like, there's no way Olo's the reason I have to resort now to Heaton conversation. Heaton in 2025. Come on. I remember Heaton going off against us when we had Ibrahimovic playing against him. That was like, what, 10 years ago?
That's
like
crazy.
This team is just so bad. It's so bad. It's beyond anything that I expected. I probably would say at the beginning of the season, I wrote off the hopium that we won a cup and I thought this team was better than it was. Honestly, I've never been more humbled. Like, I was more realistic than more people, and even I was wrong. So you can imagine the rest of the people that Mo's talking about.
Yes. So, big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. And now, we must say this, guys. Speaking of bad, let's talk about the Chelsea, because that's real bad as well. That's another bad club. Another topic where Staffy was humbled because he fell for Lewis's bullshit of Poch. And it's all Poch's fault. And this team is shit. Like, but you changed your mind at the start of the season. This team is shit.
Wallah, I didn't. Hold
what?
on. I said Poch can get sacked, and rightfully so for the results, but I don't think it's just a manager fix. So I was like, do it if you want. I just don't think another manager is going to fix it. So I wasn't like pro get Poch out. Ask Marshall, ask them. They used to debate me on the same thing.
I completely disagree. I think this Chelsea can be fixed with the top manager because they have at least the talent. The talent is not ruined yet. talent is not ruined yet.
Last season more.
Mm-mm.
I don't think the
Mm-mm.
talent is ruined.
I disagree. I told you, I've said this before. For 2 years now, more you've heard me say this. Until Chelsea become a big, strong team again, they are going to be so this that the midfield. They're going about the midfield out. See, the thing about Chelsea is this.
Yeah, I mean,
Chelsea-
you are so wrong because
I'm not wrong.
You're so wrong. For
I'm
one
not wrong.
fact. Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and João Neves are too small, but they
Yes.
dominate midfield.
That
I
is
think you're wrong about this.
right now. Listen, at the start of the season, we were not saying that about PSG's midfield. So let's just this is new evidence coming to us, and most
But
people are
that's
not
my
saying
point.
PSG.
With a good manager, I think the likes of Palmer, Caicedo, and Enzo, and others as well, they can play better football. You just can't.
I hear that, but I'm saying this: there's a difference between playing PSG in a
No.
one-off game. There's a difference between playing PSG in one-off game, like you do in the Champions League, right? Versus playing this in this league, which is more about physicality and running hard. The fact I say this: Chelsea fans look at their players on paper and they say our players on paper based on technique and all the things that all the hipster stuff that we look at are great. And then you put them on the pitch and you watch them play and you go, they're not as good as you think they are, right? When Chelsea fans do comparisons, they'll say we've got the best this, we've got the best that, we've got the best player in Cole Palmer, we've got the best midfielder in Caicedo. Enzo is a World Cup winner, right? And you put three of them on the pitch and you go, function together properly, and you go, actually, it doesn't seem to be as balanced as some other teams are. And that's the thing about Chelsea. It's like that's why I say for me, it's all about they lack size. They lack physicality. They lack the sort of mentality to take games over.
Bro.
I'm just telling you,
Chelsea lack a fan base. That's what they lack.
make Chelsea big again.
Not
The
big,
good thing
great.
today is that Bowlers FC are so happy that Sanchez scored a goal. Great goal, though. In spaces inside the 18, yeah.
Run me my
It's
money.
great. Yeah, exactly. Pay Man United now the money because he scored a goal. It's his first goal since December for some whatever reason, you know what I mean? But listen, all I have to say is that I actually think Chelsea might finish seventh and get Conference League again.
Bro, I'm convinced today. I went and I saw their run. This is the teams that Chelsea will play. Listen to this. I memorized it by heart. Fulham, Everton, Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest. Habibi, if you cannot beat Ipswich at home, how the hell are you going to beat all these teams? I'll be honest with you. Listen, I'll be honest with you, Chelsea fans, get ready for no Champions League football next year. You ain't going to make no damn Champions League. Just give up.
Last time, they only picked up 1 point of Ipswich this season.
But how can they even make Champions League football the way that they're playing? They just can't, bro. I just don't see a world in which they
the
make
problem with Chelsea fans is that they come up with the stats and tell
They're
you, but
so
we missed a lot of
entitled.
no. But the problem is we missed a lot of chances. Bro, in the first half, you had 2 shots on target, and they had 2 shots on target. Your 2 shots on target were shit. Their 2 shots on target were basically spot on, and they scored. I'm not sure but I still think
That's not the point, Dems, right? The point is not whether you're gonna lose all the games, because not me or Staffy or Mo or Olu will say that you're gonna lose all games. That's not the point. The point is there must be surely at some point in time some point tally that you need to get top 4 football. Out of all the games, if Liverpool were announced champions, maybe that's a win for you because we won't give a fuck about that game. But then other than that, Everton is a low block, something you struggle breaking. Fulham away. Fulham just beat Liverpool. They drew with Arsenal at home. Fulham have been cooking all year long. Forest away is going to be hell for you.
Fulham lost.
That's a top 4 6-pointer. What?
Fulham lost to us.
Yeah, lost to us how much? 1-1 away from home?
2-1. They lost 2-1.
2-1 where? 2-1 where?
At the Emirates.
And what am I talking about?
You said they drew, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm talking about Craven Cottage because I said Fulham away.
Oh yes, I saw you. I saw you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fraud.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Interrupted me mid-floor to correct something that's not wrong. So
My
anyway,
bad.
back to the topic. As I was saying, I'll start over because Olu decided to interrupt. So they're going to go to Fulham away. Fulham away that beat Liverpool and drew with Arsenal. Fulham away that got a draw against Arsenal. Fulham away got a draw against Arsenal. So that's obviously not an easy place to go.
We get it.
Forest away. Forest away. Once again. Forest away. Forest away.
You've been
Forest
going away
away.
to Forest. Going
Away.
away to Forest.
Yeah, away.
Away.
Wait, where was the game in Fulham again?
Away at Forest.
At
is
Forest,
where
okay.
Liverpool got a draw and Arsenal got a draw away at Forest.
Away.
Was
you
it
get
home
me?
or away?
And then you have away at Newcastle, where Arsenal lost and Liverpool drew. You get me? So those are the two best teams in
Away.
the league.
Away.
So Chelsea, I'll be honest with you, this is your hope for top 4 now. This is your hope for top 4.
Don't worry, Chelsea, we got you.
Everton at home, you have to break down that low block. Fulham away, you have to get a win. There is like zero margin for error next week. Fulham away. So you're away at Fulham.
At
And
Fulham.
and then you have to pray that before Liverpool come to Stamford Bridge, they've won the league already. Why? Because if we won the league already, we won't care about that game. Now, here's your problem. And this is something I'm going to tell you all. You look at Newcastle's fixtures and they're fucking easy.
Yeah.
City, yes, they've been crap, but at least bare minimum, I'm gonna say Pep is gonna get top 5. Like, that's not edgy at all. So now there remains one spot.
Forest.
Good evening. My name is Unai Emery. Chelsea and Nottingham Forest, all 3 competing for the one spot to qualify you for Champions League football. So good luck, my mates. You know, it doesn't seem like you're going to be doing Champions League football next season. Whoa.
Philip is the base
By the way,
Ugarte fan in the chat.
and if 5 teams are allowed in the Champions League,
Wait, is that true?
Pochettino would have had you in Champions League positions.
Wait, can I pause you there? Can I pause you for a second? Someone said Fulham could go above them next week if they win.
Yes.
That is crazy.
No, they
Yeah.
can't.
I think their bad results finally caught up to them. It really
Yeah,
did. Like,
they
they should have been here.
Yeah, I
a lot.
mean, they were 2 points behind us. Now it's 22.
Yeah,
in terms
no,
of 20
No, but that's what I'm
points in
saying.
2
Their bad
months.
results have finally caught up because
Bro,
they
20 points
were
in 2 months
dropping
are
way
mad.
too many points for the longest, and they were still sitting in top 4 comfortably. And I'm not gonna lie, it was becoming jarring at a point, not just because it's Chelsea. It's just like I don't like seeing teams being in a false position for way too long. And I just kept looking at this Chelsea team. I'm like, you're not performing. You should be a little bit lower, competing with the likes of Villa, Newcastle, Brighton, and all these teams that were trying to get a European spot. They deserve to be there. They haven't had a better run than Forest this season. Hell, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I'm starting to get convinced that even this City team, as bad as they were this season, I'd have an argument that I'd rather see them in the Champions League than this Chelsea team, because this Chelsea team is so bad. Like maybe not as individuals, but in terms of coaching and squad chemistry, I just don't like that team. Like Mo is defending them and whatever, and I kind of get where he's coming from because I don't think everyone on their team is bad. They have some decent players that I like.
No, they are
that I would
not
take
bad,
in. Yeah, I would take a lot of players in their team, in a team
On
that
paper,
like
at least they
forget
should be
United. I
smashing.
always talk about like
On
if I build a
paper,
team, I would take some of their players.
Yeah,
On
but
paper,
on paper, you should be smashing Ipswich. On paper alone.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And they took 1 point of Ipswich this season. In 2 games, they took 1 point of Ipswich. Ipswich left with 4 points, and they're getting relegated, and Chelsea left with 1, and that's unacceptable. And I actually have I have a debate for you guys. If McKenna was on Chelsea today and Maresca was on Ipswich,
I don't know.
I think Chelsea would win because I
don't
think
know.
McKenna's a better coach than Maresca.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
It is a more of a genuine debate than I actually think, Husam. Actually think about it. What is there to prove that actually Maresca is better than McKenna?
To be fair, McKenna got back-to-back promotions.
Maresca wouldn't do that.
Back-to-back promotions is like something Eddie Howe did.
Yeah. And you know what? This is why McKenna was actually linked with the job. So it's actually not outside the possibility of a debate. Because when you think about it, even the Chelsea board had that debate in the summer. They were like, should we get McKenna or should we get Maresca? Obviously, there was more candidates. When you really think of it, I actually think McKenna's getting relegated, but wallahi, McKenna's a better coach than Maresca.
Can I tell you
actually
guys
think
something for real? I actually think that out of the first 12 teams, Chelsea have the worst coach on paper out of all of the first 12 teams.
Wow.
He's poor, bro. He's a bad coach.
I
Wait,
went
did
to
you
look
just say out of 12 teams?
in the top. Okay, Crystal
Tell
Palace.
me.
Would you take Horsler? What's his name? Crystal Palace. Would you take what's that guy's name?
Glasner.
Would you take
Glasner.
Glasner or Maresca? If you have to choose
Glasner.
one.
Glasner is pretty good.
Would you take Thomas Frank or Maresca?
I don't like Thomas Frank. I'm taking Thomas Frank.
I like Thomas Frank.
Okay,
Nah,
would
Thomas
you take,
Frank.
would you,
No.
would
I'm
you,
not
would
going
you, okay, hold on, Staff.
Thomas Frank would be good for this Chelsea team.
No, but who's better?
Who's
matter
better,
who-
Staff? It doesn't matter. Who's better? Thomas Frank or Maresca?
I think Thomas Frank is a.
I think
Yeah,
Frank
maybe
is a
Thomas
better
Frank.
coach.
If
Look,
I
Would you
go
take
and give
Iraola or Maresca?
Who?
Iraola all day. All day.
Heusler or Maresca? The Brighton kid or
Heus-
Maresca?
No, Hortzeler, I wouldn't take. I wouldn't take Brighton manager, I'll be honest.
Okay,
No,
okay. You
it's
It's not
wouldn't
that
take
would
it.
you take.
Yeah,
Not
It's
Habib,
even
like
over
who would you take
wouldn't-
over who?
Not over Maresca. Not over
They're the
Maresca.
same.
You would
think
take
Maresca's better
Maresca
than him?
over. You would
I
take
don't like
Maresca.
Hortzeler at all, bro.
You do know it takes some quite talent for you to be a coach at 31.
Yes,
حبيبي أنا
exactly.
عارف, but
Thank you.
It's still like it's too much.
Like
for me.
for a Premier League club to identify you as a manager at 31 and to trust you to bring you
حبيبي,
in,
I'm with you, but
you
I
have to be
still
some
stand. I'm not
generational
taking
type of shit.
Hortzeler over Maresca. I'm just
Anyway,
not.
Yeah.
long story short,
The frame
now
is just not there for me
now
yet
we
to say
go
that.
to the better coaches that even Marco Silva, Unai Emery,
Yeah,
Pep
all of the
Guardiola,
others above
Arteta,
that,
like,
Marco
all of the
Silva,
others,
Emery, yes, all yes.
Pep
Eddie
Guardiola.
Howe, yes. Nuno
And here is the
Santo, yes.
problem with this. Here is the problem with this. Enzo Maresca needs more time to gain experience. Fine. You're basically doing what you mocked Arsenal for the last 5 years. You're
Yes,
getting
Blue
a manager
Arsenal.
learning on the.
You're now the Blue Arsenal, mate.
I didn't say it for once. For once, it wasn't me who made it about Arsenal.
No,
No, but
but
it's
you know
still
what,
Blue
Mo? Wait, hold on, Mo. Wallahi, and this is
All of
gonna
the
shock.
focus-
Actually,
focus
shouldn't shock
away
anyone.
at home.
Only anyone who still thinks I'm biased is an idiot. Wallahi, even Arteta, when he was learning on the job, I actually think he did better than Maresca, and I'll tell you why. I know he finished 8th, but I'll tell you what. Arteta, when he was building, he actually had tweaks in systems. I look at how Maresca plays, and I just think he's a Pep fanatic. He just tried to copy everything he learned off Pep, and I honestly hate his coaching. I hate his inverted fullbacks. I hate how he isolates his wingers. I just everything he coaches about, I just don't like him. He's probably one of the last managers I would want to take in the league. I don't like anything about his coaching. At least Arteta, I think he was aware enough to say, you know what? For me to get to what I want, I probably need to defend a little bit deeper now. I probably don't have the squad that I want to play front foot football. So let me be a little bit more pragmatic in my first 2 years, get my ass beat, but at least it's for a greater cause. And I actually seen him go back to a back 3 and then eventually go to a back 4. So it's like those tweaks and systems for you to learn it as you go in the Premier League and you're actually progressing. To me, that's more impressive than what anything Maresca is doing this season. Maresca can finish in 7th and higher, and it's still not better than Arteta finishing 8th, in my opinion.
Maresca isn't gonna do what Arteta did, but I still think that Arteta, he was horrific. We're just absolutely.
And guess what? Arteta had a worse squad than this.
But Arteta had.
Arteta was playing David Luiz, Rob Holding, and fucking Kolasinac. And Mustafi. Come on. Come on.
If you ever have to listen,
Mustafi. Respect Mustafi. World Cup
guys, if you want to understand why I'm so strong as a human being, it's because we had Mustafi and Socrates as defenders.
That's my inspo, by the way, for my YouTube name.
I built so much inner strength from watching those guys play football for Arsenal. That's why I don't get rattled anymore.
Bro, a backline of what's his name? Miles. What's his name?
Oh, sorry. You forget Lichtsteiner as well.
Okay.
We had Lichtsteiner.
A backline was Mustafi, Socrates. Kolasinac left back. What's the guy that left and went to Roma and did the tour?
Mavropanos?
No.
Gervinho.
No. The right back, the guy that played everywhere, right back, right wing.
Oh, Maitland-Niles.
A backline of this, bro. And bro, that was ridiculous.
Bellerin was more interested in planting trees than he was in playing football.
Maitland-Niles, Mustafi, Socrates,
respect
and Kolasinac. This is a relegation battle.
What I'm saying though is this. What I'm saying is this.
Pablo Mari as well. Oh my
Pablo
God.
Mari.
I remember him.
Pablo Mari, bro. This guy was in the cartel, bro. I was convinced that guy was a real player. That guy was selling drugs, bro. That's what he was doing.
Mama Maresca had Kukurea, Colwell, Malagusto, Reece James.
Wait, actually, no.
That's the thing that's funny about this whole thing. On paper, the Chelsea team is actually really good.
Chelsea have the best DM in the league playing in front of that defense. Yet
they have a very good midfield. I know we make fun of them, but wallah, they have a very good midfield.
No. Hold on. Names wise, yes. You watched today's game. Wallah al-azim, tactically, the Chelsea fans can attest to this.
Oh, no. I know. That's what I mean. I meant on names. Only.
I'm gonna repeat it again. The balance of what's his name? Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Caicedo's getting exposed because Enzo Fernandez does not defend at all. Bro, they push the ball right. Bro, he pushes the ball right next to him and they just jog. He can't catch up. He's not an 8. He's a 10. You can play him as a 10. Or you need 2 dogs around him to play football. You know, 2 dogs, Paul, Caicedo, Gattuso style. You need like dogs. And
I was going to say they
Cole
don't.
Palmer's not a dog. And by the way, if anybody watched Cole Palmer today, he's okay. Broski.
He
This is not
hasn't scored an open
Wasn't
play
he
goal
playing
since
too deep in the midfield for you today,
2005.
Mo? And by the way,
This year he has less open play goals than Mikel Merino.
up. Actually, very good point, Husam.
Kukurea is
Wait,
the
wait,
top
wait.
scorer this
So
year.
stop there. He went from having 40 GA last season under Poch, and this season you said he has less than who?
Not this
Kukurea,
season,
Kukurea.
This year.
2025.
Oh, this year. Okay,
He has
whatever
less
name you
goals.
name.
He actually has
Bruno.
it. I think he scored 1 goal in
Cole
2025.
Palmer has less goals than Darwin Núñez in 2025.
Okay, so what does that tell you about Maresca? That he came in and he made his best player a meme right now, and we're laughing at him.
He made him part of the system instead of the
Or-
system.
or
Something I
maybe-
So are we
Maybe
talking about
with that-
coaching or are we talking about Palmer?
fans last season that didn't get it. We're Palmer FC. يا حبيبي ما we're about to win the league. We're Salah FC up top. افهم يا حمار.
Yeah, it's
لما
never
يكون
Who gives a
I don't know why
shit?
people do that.
when you have a team that's fucking shit, the other players next to Palmer, of course he has to be the guy. I told them, يا حبيبي, Kylian Mbappe had his best season for PSG under Poch. Why? Because Poch comes into a team, he looks, who's the best forward here? Oh, it's Palmer. Take the keys, حبيبي. Do whatever you want. Now that's the difference. They wanted Palmer to be part of the team. Well, guess what? He's part of the team now, and you ain't cooking nothing.
Yeah, bro.
I think that further highlights Maresca more than it highlights Palmer. I've seen Palmer make a transition from a very organized City team where he was barely limited to game time, goes to City when he was never been the guy to lead a team before, leads that team with the most G&A, wins Young Player of the Year, comes Mr. Maresca, and he does this to him. I think this further exposes Maresca rather than Palmer.
It's another pep thing. It's another
Palmer
pep
is
thing.
good.
It's another pep thing. You have to become part of what I want.
So
Do not be yourself.
so
It's the
Maresca hype?
same exact thing. You have to be part. I was wrong, bro. I actually now, in hindsight, this beginning of the season form second was riding the wave of the end of the season Chelsea.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it now? Everyone is seeing you. You're not good. You're not good.
It's,
bro.
it's different. There's a difference when listen. There's things called muscle memory. Players know what they do automatically from training for so long. After a while, when the coach gets into them, starts telling them what he wants them to do, you start seeing that drop off happen. You're seeing that. I think Maresca coached them into being this bad. What they were doing at the start of the season was, like you said, riding off the high, riding off the sort of we understand how to play with each other from Poch. Listen, as much as Poch needs and deserves some of the criticism that he gets, the fact of the matter is this: he still got them to somewhat of a functioning team. Now they just look unfunctional. And I was going to say something about the midfield. It looks like they don't cover themselves. And what I mean by that is that it's like you said, Caicedo's on an island. It's either he's tackling or he's having to do all the tackles, or that's it. Like it almost feels like it's you're the defensive midfielder, you defend. We will do what we want to do, up like further up, and that for me, like that is criminal. That is absolutely criminal in terms of a midfield, and that's why I say on paper, these guys look good. You got World Cup winner Enzo. You got Palmer, who was the Young Player of the Year. You got Caicedo, who a lot of people say is the best.
He's amazing,
good,
bro.
bro.
Caicedo's very good, bro.
And then you put him on the pitch, and you realize that they don't function together that well.
Because he's stubborn.
No, but I want to ask something. This midfield, I'm looking at it right again. Caicedo, Enzo, and Palmer. I think we rate all of them individually, right?
Yes.
Is there any debate on
I don't-
that?
I don't rate Enzo, but that's just me.
I think it's a little bit foolish of you not to rate him because if
I don't.
if you watch it for what he does for Argentina, you'll see the difference in quality. So, but that's
yeah.
fine. I'll respect that. I think we all know Caicedo's good, Palmer's good, and it depends on how high you want to rate Enzo. Why is it that this manager is not putting combinations in that midfield that's good enough to get the best? Should Palmer should have never been moved to the 10 and should he stayed on the right wing, and then you played maybe a flat 3 midfield or a pivot and a DM and two eights? Like I just can't find it in me. Like, do I need a DM Was Don cooking when he kept saying they need what's his name who always gets injured?
Love you.
That's
What's the
theoretical. Lavia. But that's
Lavia.
theoretical.
Do they need a Lavia? Like, what is it, bro? Because I can't. It's been 30 something games and we're still having these same conversations.
Yeah, Lavia Enzo Caicedo would be very good. Lavia
Yeah,
Enzo
but
Caicedo.
So Palmer should have been right wing.
Right side, right winger. Cut inside.
I think you know what, bro. I actually think Palmer suffered from that. I really do, and I really like him. Like, this is not me even dissing him. I felt like that big aspect of his game where he cuts in on his left and he drives into the middle. Him being in the middle, I think, kind of killed him this season.
Here comes
See what I mean?
another. Here
See
comes
what I mean?
another youngster. Oh, bring me Andre Santos. He's killing
God.
it in Liga. He's killing it in Liga. Bring
Oh
me
no, but
Andre
no,
Santos.
don't forget Esteval. Esteval is the one that's going to save them from the wings, even though they've got 20,000 wingers already.
No, but do we even trust bringing these guys into Maresca's system again? Because I feel like Maresca's not able to find good combos this season in the midfield.
No, you cannot.
And I don't know if
trust
he should be trusted with a DM. Like, oh, let's just go on by who did
I'll
they say?
answer
They
the
actually signed
question
someone.
straight
What's the
up,
Portuguese
Staffy.
guy's name again?
And answer that question straight up, Staffy. I don't think he should be trusted with the forward line players and stuff because it's just they're all underperforming.
I think he's gonna
Even
get sacked.
Sancho now,
to be honest,
Sancho
he's gonna
is
get
being
sacked.
mocked by Matisse for doing the Mo thing, which is the greatest thing, which is pop, pass back. Even though he can dribble, but he's not even allowed to express himself as much right now. That's just the reality.
Bro, I think
Wow.
he's gonna get sacked.
He's
in
gonna
this.
turn him into Kennedy. That's how I know you're finished. عارف Kennedy اللي اشتروه Fiorentina?
Yeah.
Kennedy,
You know, I used
The
to always think
Brazilian.
that Kennedy guy is English until I found out he's Brazilian. Imagine you're Brazilian and his name is Kennedy.
But I think he's gonna get sacked in the summer. Once the season is over, they're not. If they don't make Champions League, I think he's gonna get sacked. Because
So are we
I think
convinced that they're not make Champions League though.
most likely it looks like it. Okay, bro, you can't win against
Staffy,
Ipswich. You think
Ipswich, how are they gonna beat
Chris
Forest away?
Ipswich stuff?
No.
Ipswich.
I'm not even saying. I'm asking a general question. Like, I just want to know where everyone is right now.
I
So
don't
I'm looking
know,
at the
man.
standings.
Four now.
So
'Cause
they're
they
tied
had
with
to win
Villa on
today's game.
points. Wait, hear
Say that
this. They're tied with Villa on points.
Yeah.
They're only up by goal difference. So obviously that can be done anytime. They're both tied on 54. The issue is Fulham is a little bit too far away from them. They're 7 points ahead of Fulham, but Fulham still has a game in hand.
2. Well, no, 1.
No, they
sorry,
have one
game.
because
One game,
Fulham
sorry.
played 31 and Chelsea played 32. So they
Yeah,
only played
you're
one
right.
more game than that. I think one of the issues is Villa's still in too many competitions, and I don't know if they'll able to pounce on and take Chelsea's spot
They've
in the
got
top
they've-
6.
So Chelsea's biggest hope is that some of the teams above them have to play each other as well. So like Villa have got to play Man City. Villa have got
Am
to
I
play
frozen?
Newcastle.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, you have. Sorry.
Now
You're
you're
back
good.
now. Yeah.
My whole computer froze.
So Villa got to play a couple of teams around where they are, and I think same as Newcastle as well. So that's the only thing is that those guys chip away points from them. But the problem is that you can't trust Chelsea to actually win the games against the teams that are not around them as well.
Villa
As we've
will
seen
play
this
Newcastle at home and City away, and that is
Yeah.
the only problem with them.
Yeah.
And they're gonna play Spurs. They're gonna play Brighton, and that is the problem with them. They're gonna play Man United in the last game, but still, after today's game, do you trust Chelsea in any game? Doesn't matter who the opposition. Like, you don't.
Yeah,
And
you do. Yeah, you do. Europa Conference League. You
Wow.
do.
like, by the way,
Wow.
if Newcastle win,
Even then, it's not guaranteed to win that.
guys, if Newcastle win against Crystal Palace midweek, they're 4 points ahead of Chelsea already. Actually, I'm sorry, they are 5 points. That means 2 games already. So and there's only 6 games left. So you're not catching them. Forest are gonna play Chelsea in the last game of the season at Forest.
That could
You
be
know what is
horrific.
gonna happen there. But we'll
That could be
see.
horrific.
That can be the end of Maresca, that last game, to be honest with you.
Do you know
But-
what? I wish we did.
I really want Forest to go
Oh.
out in that last game so we can cook Wolfie.
Yeah.
Actually.
I'm gonna say though, what I wish we did was, and we can still do it. It's just that December period. Just take all those Chelsea streams and fans when they were getting so giddy, and just do a compilation of them talking then versus now. Because
allow it though.
it's-
I'm gonna be
no,
honest.
no, no, I'm petty. I am petty.
Look, you gotta allow it. I'll tell you why,
I'm
bro. They
petty.
haven't had something to be positive about for a while. And you're an Arsenal fan. You should know that. You guys get giddy too, bro. Relax. Right. I'll tell you what, Olo, yesterday I was at the Shisha Lounge. The amount of shit I heard yesterday from some fans, I was like, yo, I wish I was live streaming this. I was hearing some absurd shit yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I heard someone go as far as saying, "Oh yeah, Aston Villa are gonna come back and win the Champions League." I'm like, bro, what's in these shishas here? I couldn't believe the shit I was hearing.
That's not shisha you were smoking yesterday.
It wasn't me, bro. I was just listening. I was like, bro, what are these guys talking about? You know, but you just gotta allow it, bro. You gotta allow it because I was gonna do the same thing. Listen, you're gonna beat Madrid, and you guys are gonna do the same thing. So I don't really want to police that. I don't want to police how fans feel giddy, you know. But I think I'm not gonna lie. Back to the conversation. If they finish 7th, bro, I mean it's the biggest blue balls I've ever seen. Like the way they're bro. No. This team would have blue balled them all the way from believing they could compete from the league to them finishing in the Champions League spot to fuck it. We're gonna just get Europe to now we're finishing Conference League. Like, I think none of our teams, like United have told me from the beginning, you're shit. So they never blue balled me. Husam, his team maybe over exceeded what he thought, so he's happy. You know, Arsenal fans, you're a little bit upset, but you're still finishing second, so you kind of understand it. No one got blue balled by their team this season more than Chelsea. And I think they'll have the biggest breakdown at the end of the season. When you really objectively think about it, no one had a bigger hype during the start of the season to where they actually finished than them. Really think about it.
Anyway,
you don't agree, Mo?
I actually listen. To be honest with you about Chelsea, I actually think if they don't make Champions League, some of the players.
I'm gonna go start Qahwa.
So they might actually ask to leave Chelsea. Do you believe it? Do you believe this? I genuinely believe that they might ask to leave because people think, oh, they're tied to 9-year contracts. No player is going to tie himself to a 9-year contract without like any assurances. But listen, as I have said before, the football looked good in the beginning of the season. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless.
Thank you so much. The football was good in the beginning of the season. Now it looks dire. The midfield looks wide open. Your defense looks wide open. Your attack is not even as lethal as before. You are praising Jackson and all of that, but Jackson looked trash today. Enzo Maresca is so now being stubborn about the way he plays football. And all I see is Chelsea not doing well. And I don't like this because after all that money spent, you need to be doing well.
No. You got to like it because do you know what it is? It just proves to the world that money doesn't solve the problem. All right, you can't just throw $1 billion at something and expect.
Does anybody remember what Mo said in the beginning?
Exactly.
Last year?
You were right.
Staffy remembers.
What did you say?
I said, for the good of football, this project has to what? This project has to fail.
Wait, you said that again?
I said for the good of football,
you said this project needs to fail. You know what's the worst take? Actually, while we're at it, because people like to say that I never think that I was wrong. The worst take, I think, or the worst debate. I've lost this debate so badly to Mo. Remember last year, though, when there was a debate who has a better projection for the season, United or Chelsea?
I still think Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I lost that debate so bad because a year later, I mean, technically, you can kind of say last year I was kind of right because at least we won a cup. But a year later, oh my God.
Mo, can you put
John sacked, sitting 14th.
Mo, can you put John Milton? Put his comments, please, on the screen.
What?
Do you see John Milton?
Oh, why are you even entertaining that comment?
No, because it's funny. Because I love when people do this. It's like rather than look at the dirt that's in the speck in your eye, looking at the dirt and so on. Listen, if you're happy that you spent $1 billion, you got 800 million back. That's great. Clap for yourself. You know what? Your balance book looks amazing. We can celebrate your balance book. But you still have to watch this team every week. You still have to be one that's annoyed. You're still the one that has to look at these players and say they're not giving you enough. You're still the one that's going to say Maresca out. So you know what? You're right. You won. You got 800 million back. I'm happy for you. I am so happy. In fact, when the stream finishes, I'm gonna put some music on and dance around because you got 800 million back.
Anyway, listen, people, this is gonna take you to Al-Ahwa. We're gonna go, and I want everyone to spam one thing when we join Al Ahwa. You guys know in the chat what are we spamming on Al Ahwa? It's only one word we spam.
Can I say it? Can I take the honors? Hashtag Ham0. I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna be spamming it. And I heard he rage quit after I left last time, Mo. I didn't even know that, but I'm gonna be there. I will be there.
He actually he rage quit. He's like, oh,
Getting Hamza the rage quit is actually elite, Mo. Good job.
He actually almost cried on the stream. Like, Husam, can you tell them to stop putting Ham0 in the chat? And then the problem is he doesn't realize that it gets worse. Anyway, listen, guys, we'll see you in the Lahwa. We're out of here, people.
Peace.